Okay, here's our video for showing you how to clean an apartment. Start on the outside of the door. Make sure the door is nice and clean. Make sure the numbers are on the door and that the door locks work correctly. Anytime we ever have a new apartment turnover, we always change out the door locks. So you'll want to put that on the list for maintenance to change out the door locks anytime we go into a vacant apartment. I always just start and go along, one wall as we walk in and just check everything as we go. You want to make sure that the blinds are all in place. We have spare blinds in the basement. These spare little slats, they come out real easily. You just slide them up and you can take the whole slat off, or you can slide it right back in this case. I say you can. Okay, all right, you want to make sure that the blind or that the window is locked, or that it can be locked. In this case, that it actually is locked. You want to wipe off any of the countertops. Certainly the windowsills need to be wiped off from any dust. We're checking the walls for any holes, any nails. You want to take those off. We can touch up paint if any place needs to be touched up on the paint. We always check that the heater and air conditioner works. Make sure that the smoke detector works, and make sure that the apartment in general is just nice and clean. Always sweep the floors and vacuum at the very end. As we continue going around, you get to these other areas over here. Always make sure that the oven hood works. Turn it on, make sure that the lights work. We're always checking that all the light bulbs work. These stoves have to be very clean. You take these pieces out and it makes it a lot easier to clean. We actually even clean the, I don't know what you call those, I guess the collection pans. You want to make sure that those are nice and clean as well. You want to test the stove out, make sure that it works correctly. We always open up all the doors, make sure the doors are working correctly, and also wipe out the countertops. Wipe off the countertop itself after you wipe off the cabinets. Make sure the hot water and cold water is working. Make sure and check underneath the sink that there's no leaks, there's no water that's built up anywhere. If there are any problems with any of that, we report it to maintenance. You do that by just simply sending them a text message to the property manager. Always run the dishwasher. Make sure that it's clean and run it through a cycle, make sure it's working correctly. Again, all the cleaning supplies for all these things are down in the basement. Anything you don't have that you do need, we just simply order it. You can use whatever products you think will work best. But we want everything nice and clean. We want all the windows wiped down, especially the big patio doors. They get dirty a lot of times. You don't always have to wash all the windows themselves, but certainly the patio doors need to be wiped down inside and outside. Make sure all dust webs are down. Ceiling fans always need to be wiped down. They accumulate a lot of dust and tenants never wipe them off. So you've got to go through and wipe those off. Again, you'll want to go in the right order of this stuff. You want to clean all those things off first before you do the vacuuming, which I mentioned earlier. You want to do the vacuuming at the end, of course. Refrigerator needs to be clean on the inside. It needs to be clean on the top. It needs to be clean on the inside. This is what a refrigerator should look like. There should be no stains, no discolorations. Everything should be functioning and working just like a brand new dishwasher, or just like a brand new refrigerator. Okay, continuing around, we do check the closet, make sure there's nothing in the closet, make sure the lights work, and make sure everything is nice and clean. And that completes the first set of rooms. Next, we're gonna move to the hallway, make sure the light works, make sure the air conditioner is working correctly, make sure that the filter is nice and clean. There are spare filters in the basement, that's where we find all those at. Continuing around, check, make sure that the door knobs work and that they're tight and they work correctly. There's no issues with them. That's all good. Continue around. Same thing with the blinds that we did in the other room. We want to make sure that they actually work and function. There's a little handle here on the end. You want to turn the handle, make sure the blind actually opens and closes, make sure the window locks, make sure the windowsill is cleaned. We want to make sure that the doors actually slide and work. A lot of times these doors get broken or off the hinges. Try to fix it yourself if you can't figure out how to fix it yourself. It's another one of those things where you just simply send a text message to the property manager. I would just make a list of all these maintenance issues and don't send them to the property manager until you have all of them. That way you can send her one message, okay? You don't have to send multiple messages, hopefully. You can if you have to, but I'd obviously prefer it to be in one message. In the bathroom, okay, want to make sure the sink's clean. Same thing, want to make sure the hot and cold water works. Want to check underneath, make sure it's all clean. Make sure the toilet flushes, make sure there's no leaks around the back side of the toilet or at the bottom of the toilet. Ceiling tiles. The downstairs apartments have ceiling tiles. Need to make sure that there weren't any stains from an upstairs leak at some point. If there were, first of all, you need to make sure and have maintenance check that the leak is fixed. Once the leak is fixed, have maintenance change the ceiling tiles out. Tub should be really clean. This is an area that really needs to be scrubbed down and cleaned nicely. Check that the hot and cold water works again. Make sure there's no leaks at the shower head. Toilet needs to be cleaned really well. As you can see, this toilet, looks great. Someone's already gone through and done a good job on it. Make sure the mirror is cleaned up. A lot of this is common sense stuff, but you've got to make sure and just go around the apartment, taking care of all these things. Document everything that doesn't work correctly. Anything that you have to spend any time on at all. And make sure that the tenant is not overcharged, but make sure they are charged for the exact amount of time that we spend cleaning an apartment. We prefer our apartments be so clean, and we gladly give full refunds. If they actually have cleaned the apartment and it looks like this one looks right now, they would get their full refund back for their deposit. I don't have no problem with that at all. In fact, I'd love to give full deposits back, but most of the time people don't take care of it the way they're supposed to. So we want to make sure and document correctly, charge them for the things that we have to spend time on. Ceiling fan needs to be cleaned again. Same thing with the doors in this room. We want to make sure that the doors slide, open, close correctly. Make sure everything's out of there. Make sure the drawers all work, pull in and out correctly. Make sure there's nothing in the drawers. And that is basically what it is like to clean an apartment. At the very end is when we vacuum. If the carpet is in bad shape, we call a professional carpet cleaner to come through and vacuum the carpets. If the carpets are in good shape, like this apartment is, then we don't have to call the carpet cleaner. All right, I hope that helps out. Thanks a lot.